Hello, Petra. Oh, she just disappeared.
Just looking at with my dog gone.
We are here with Petra in a lockdown lesson. Petra is in her house in Windermere and I'm in my house in Bowness. But we are going to be talking about how to keep your dogs happy during lockdown. Now, I've known Petra for a few years now, I think.
Yeah.
About 3 years at least.
Yeah, or even 4.
Yeah, and I think I met you on the Glebe. We were walking our dogs, and I think I chatted to you, and I think you had your van. Anyway, I saw your van, and I phoned you afterwards because just tell everybody the name of your agency, your walking business.
So business is called Lakes Pet Services. And yes, I have lots of
red van, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a red van with a sign Lakes Pet Services. And if you see me speeding, does not mean that's my husband.
Obviously. I was going to say the same thing. She drives impeccably, but you've probably seen her van, less so now, but at the time, round and about in Windermere and Bowness, because you do walk and look after, hi Vic, a lot of local dogs, don't you? So just tell us a little bit about your services.
Yes, so my services have been operating now for about almost 5 years. I think it's going to be in June. June was the first time, actually around my birthday time, when I started spreading my business cards around the houses, literally door to door with my mother. So it's a history moment. And started from them. I mean, first client, I think I even have him now. First client was actually in August, and he started from there. And yeah, he started with the dog walking, then I've expanded to doggy daycare, home boarding. After that came grooming, pet visits. So we look after cats as well, rabbits, alpacas, chickens, you name it. Only thing what we don't look after is the snakes and the spiders. I'm not keen on those.
And you are now a team, aren't you?
Yes. So my mother-in-law actually helps with cats. So she's a cat cuddler, we call her. So that's her favorite job. Then I have 2 dog walkers, Krissie and Julie, and they do the lunchtime walks during the week. So while I have around 9 dogs in the doggy daycare, they have about, on average, about 6 to 10 dogs per lunchtime walk. Obviously not in a one walk, they spread it into 2 walks. So yeah, it's just a little social time for your dogs, have fun, the best interaction you can have. I mean, I just love seeing dogs running around the field, especially in the Lake District, and having fun and playing. Obviously, sometimes there is a little argument. Not everybody gets on with everybody, but same like human, you can't expect us to get on with everybody. Why do you expect dogs to get on with every other dog? So no, it doesn't work that way. But yeah, no, it's been busy. It's actually kicked off, straight away. Actually, we'll talk about 6 months to start it, but then it's got really busy. So that's why I needed some extra hands, because I was doing it all on my own. And yeah, when I look at the books from the few years ago, I was like, when did I eat?
When did you do anything? Some people might be surprised to know that you're my dog walker. So you walk Georgie, I'm pointing at the corner because that's where he is. You walk my Georgie every day, or it's usually Krissie, isn't it, that walks him. But the reason I have a dog walker is because he is a very demanding dog in terms of walking and exercise and attention. And so he really needs 3 walks a day. And so I walk him in the morning, I walk him in the evening, but during the day, I take him to work all day. So he's got lots and lots of attention and people giving him little tidbits in the office and things like that tell him not to do. But he loves the attention of having, a nice team around him. I think he thinks it's his team. And he likes that company, and then he gets the walk as well, and then he just sleeps all afternoon. So he's a very happy dog. And at the moment, he's completely out of his routine, which is affecting him a little bit, and we're going to talk about that as well. But I would say that anybody who is struggling to walk their dog, who's in Windermere and Bowness, if you feel like your dog needs a little bit of extra, you don't even have to book a daily walk with you. Is that right, Petra?
Yes, no, it doesn't have to be daily dog walk. It can be just, randomly, anytime you really want. So yeah, well, at the moment the business is closed, as all businesses have to be closed.
Yeah.
Due to the virus you don't want to talk about, the one you don't like.
Current situation. We'll come on to that.
Situation.
I'll tell you something funny, actually. I was just talking about the socialization of the dogs, which I think is really important. How many times do you go on a walk with your dog and somebody else's dog is going, yeah, you know, and frightened, because that's all it is, isn't it? It's just fear in the other dog, because they're not socialized, because they're not allowed to socialize. And I think that you and the other ladies that walk dogs, you're so relaxed and happy that the dog feels relaxed and happy, and therefore they feel like they can mix, where I think an owner with a dog on a lead sometimes is a little bit tense and worried that, you know, their dog is going to misbehave or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was coming down Birthwaite Road one day with George, and George slipped his lead and shot over to the side of the road to another dog and started doing that talking thing that sometimes dogs do.
Was the other dog on the lead?
The other dog was just going into a garden. So it turns out, I was talking to the owner of the dog. I can't remember what kind of dog it was. I don't know dogs very well. Something like a cockapoo or something. And this dog, we were going, do they know each other? They were like best friends. Turned out they were both walked by you. So they were best friends. We just didn't know it. And they were having a proper conversation, because, you know, dogs need friends, don't they? They need each other. They need that socialization. Anyway, I just thought it was a funny story, because they were properly talking to each other, and me and the owner had no idea how they knew each other.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that I'm organizing at least 3 times a year social dog walks. So dogs come, the owners come as well, and we just go around Windermere, about a 2-hour walk. Last one was around Christmas time. Yeah, there was a Christmas social walk. So again, owners can meet each other, because your dogs do know each other and they are running to each other, and you're just thinking, oh, what? So time when new owners can talk to each other and about problems or anything, basically. So yeah, I was planning one obviously before Easter, but it just didn't happen. So I don't know when it's gonna be the next one. Who knows if it's gonna happen at Christmas, but we will see.
We'll see.
Nothing at the moment, so we'll just have to keep it.
And you also, although your team is expanding, can I say that Petra is also expanding?
Yeah, I'm definitely expanding.
There you go. So Petra's expecting her first baby, her first puppy, isn't it, Petra? And when is it due?
So it's due in July, middle of July. So yes, I was actually, because we were talking the other day about it, if I can get back to work until July. I haven't read it now, but I actually have to self-isolate for 12 weeks. So I have about 14 weeks until I give birth. So I have no idea. Yes, it has all gone down the hill, basically. But you have positive. You have to think about the positives. And I have the longest maternity pay ever. Well, I haven't got the pay yet, but the maternity break ever.
And do you know whether it's a girl or a boy, or are you not sharing that?
It's a boy, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, no, we did want to know. So yeah, it's a little boy.
George, after my dog. I think that would be a really good name.
George.
Where are you from, Petra? What country do you originate from?
I'm from Slovakia.
And so have you got a good Slovakian group of names to choose from?
No, I wasn't actually even thinking about Slovakian name, to be honest. No, just because we live in England. I've been in England for about 16 years.
Yeah.
So no. I mean, it has to be something easier so my mom can pronounce it, obviously. It would be really weird if Granny can't say the grandchild's name. But yeah, no, we haven't picked the one yet. It's still, I mean, we have 5 books about kids' names, and it's just
no, isn't it? I know. All right. Well, also best wishes to Hannah. You know, Hannah works with us. She has just had her baby Elle, about 3 days old, I think now. So hello, Hannah. Probably a bit to watch this right now, and she doesn't have a dog. So let's talk about babies and dogs. First of all, just tell us, what are you hearing from your clients about how their dogs are behaving at the moment during this strange time?
So firstly, I would like to say and stress to everybody, because there is lots of news on the Facebook and everywhere that people are getting rid of their dogs and cats. They're taking them to local shelters just because they think that dogs and cats can transfer the virus. I mean, I'm not the expert on the virus by all means, but at the moment there is just 2 cases of cats in the whole world which are actually affected by the virus. But there is no evidence that your dog can carry a virus inside his body, can get ill or anything. So the only trouble is, what you have to look out for is when you take your dogs for a walk, there has to be minimal interaction with other people and with other dogs too. So yes, as dogs cannot carry them on inside, they can carry the virus on the fur. So imagine the dog is sat next to me and I sneeze. The sneeze will go right on my dog, and then you will stroke my dog, and you don't even know, but you touch your face straight away. So currently they don't know how long does the virus survive on the objects or on the dog fur. But again, yes, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, sanitize all the time. So before walk, after walk, going out, touching the gates. I mean, we just laugh with my husband because when we go out, the touching the gates is this way now, isn't it?
I work out how to get my lead over the top of, the horse ones, and you can just pull it up. Yeah, I know, I do feel a bit daft. A lot of the gates are open now, which is, that is really helpful. So behaviour-wise, what have you heard from your clients?
So it changes. Again, everybody is in different situation. So depending on the age of a dog, if it's a young dog, it's an older dog, have you got the kids in your household? Are you a single person in the house? Have you got few people in the house? So it all depending. One thing, yes, is when you are self-isolating, I mean, all of us are self-isolating at the moment, you have that 1 hour to take a dog out for a walk. If it's 2 people or 3 people in the house, even better, because they can go out in the morning, lunchtime, and evening. So free time is great.
Sorry, he's doing that thing. He's scratching at the carpet, making himself a little nest. It's just noisy.
Have you been for a run this morning? Is he tired?
Yeah. He's not tired. He comes to me so he comes back, has his breakfast. He's going a little bit later than he normally goes, so he's a bit bothered about that because he knows what time it is in the morning. So instead of going at 7, I'm going at 8, which he's not very happy about.
Mummy's lying.
Breakfast, and then within an hour, he's coming back to me saying, "Okay, next walk, please." But normally he gets picked up about 11:30 with Krissie, so he does get bothered about that time. Yeah, isn't it?
Well, because it's been set in that routine now. Again, so all the other dogs had a routine. We went to work, we left them at home. They had a dog walker or they didn't, depending. And that was their routine. But they were allowed to have their rest and their time on their own. Now, I mean, we complain that we don't know what to do with the dogs, but what about dogs complaining about us? They have it worse, I think, because suddenly we are here. My dog is already grouching because we're talking. So she wants a quiet time and I'm talking. So that's the thing again for them. And if you have a kids will be all over the dogs all the time, so that your dog hasn't got the time to relax. So important thing is, yes, physical activity is important for dogs, but the mental stimulation is equally important. So mental stimulation, I mean games around the house or anything like, actually I've got a few games in here what you can use. You can try to teach your dogs new tricks. That's a mental stimulation. Anything what involves his brain and thinking. I always do it on a walk as well. So when we go out for a walk and I teach my dog to use the gate, otherwise the dog will just standing there and looks at you like, well, open the gate for me. It's like, no, try. Get to me. I mean, Georgie is so clever. He can get through any gate. And I think he even jumps all the fences. So he can do that. But both the terriers are a clever dog. So yeah.
Right now, where is he?
Yeah, so they need that problem solving. They need to use their brain as well. But that's normal in a normal dog's life as well. The physical activity, yes. And especially if you have a high energy dog, my goodness, you can walk all day long. You literally can walk all day long and you will not get your dog tired. So that's why mental activity comes again. So I don't know if you use anything for Georgie as a mental stimulation. Do you give him anything?
So he loves hide and seek. I take his toy and then I hide it somewhere and then I tell him to go find it, and he loves doing that. We'll do that about 5 or 6 times, and that's him sorted. He just adores that game.
Yeah, anything that involves his nose as well, or licking, because licking involves his happy hormone, and endorphins come out, and it just, you know, it calms them down. So I got what you could actually try is his favorite. His favorite, and you can make a little hole and stuff it with the treats. So that will keep him busy for a bit longer as well. I mean, obviously, he will probably chew the ball, so you will need another ball for another game. But anything what you can make at home, and you don't have to go to the shops, because obviously it's only essential trips you have to do. I've got... Oh, she knows what I've got now. Look at her. She's already stood up, isn't it? What is this? So I've got the marrow bone. And this is stuffed with just a wet food, but I put it in the freezer so it lasts longer. Yeah, because if it's wet food, then she will just lick it out and it will be gone in 2 seconds, literally. She's clever this way now. But again, licking, it just releases that calmness and the happy hormone. So this is really good. And you don't need to buy expensive kongs or anything like that, because some dogs actually go through the kongs and they chew them, no matter how strong they are, especially stuffies. They have really strong...
That's a really good idea of putting it in the freezer. So you just wrap it in something, stick it in the freezer, take it out, then they can chew it for ages because it'll just stay frozen for a long time.
I mean, she doesn't chew the bone, but she just licks the inside of it, isn't it? And that's her favorite one, isn't it? There we go. And you see she's using her paws as well straight away, so she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes she stands there and actually holds it with both paws.
It's a bit like a nice lolly for them.
It is, especially when it's like nice and sunny out there like today. You get the ice cream and you don't get the frozen marrow bone.
I get them mixed up.
I know. I have another one. And this is called, it can be called slow feeder, but also activity. And if your dog is fed kibble food, which is dry food, because mine is raw fed at the moment, you can put the dry food in there. I mean, Georgie, I think, tried it once he was staying with me, but he's not really eating fast anyway. It just takes time, isn't it? Just like, yeah, it's there. All right. Sometimes when he's really hungry, yes, he will wolf it down quickly. But this is a good game as well. And it just moves around, and they have to get it, and they have to get it out of the hole. So that keeps them busy for quite a while. Some of them are so clever. Actually, I already have bites everywhere. They know how to flip it as well. So I use those toys in the doggy daycare. So anything what keeps them going and brain buzzing a little bit. But yes, so every individual has a different situation at home currently. So it depends. Now, if you got a new puppy, it's a perfect time to get a puppy, to be honest, because we're all at home. So you can start with puppy training and toilet training and everything what you can. But the worst thing is socializing at the moment. So you wouldn't be able to do that, or go to the park, or actually even go to the vet actually for his injections. Now I think the vets take only emergency cases. So depends on each individual. And again, it's easier if you are isolating with the family, because dogs can go out more often than just once. If you are on your own and you are ill, then you will have to ask, and again, depending if you have a garden or if you don't have a garden. If you don't have a garden, you will have to ask. There's a few volunteers around, especially I don't know if you've seen Windermere Self-Isolation. I think it's called the group on the...
Saw that,
yeah. So there's lots of people who are helping out. Again, those people have to be aware how to deal with these dogs and what are the rules when it comes to hygiene and when it comes to dogs, and you cannot let the dog off the lead, especially because you've never met him before as well. So it is quite difficult, but it's possible. Yeah, so there is few rules people will have to take. If you are walking somebody else's dog as a volunteer, again, you cannot even touch the dog. No stroking. You should use your own leads as well. Your car have to be spotless clean. That's before the pickup and after the drop off as well.
God, it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot, definitely. Yes, just because we don't want to spread any virus. That's why the business is closed at the moment. And yeah, the girls had the options what they want to do really. So you can't push on it. It's everybody's health, everybody's family. So you cannot push on anybody that, oh, you have to go and walk the dogs. Not at the moment.
Right.
Everybody is sticking to their own rules.
So we've sort of covered sort of entertaining your dog. And as I was saying to you before, Georgie seems to sleep a lot. Dogs generally sleep a lot, don't they? Pack animals, I suppose. They hunt and then they sleep for hours and then they hunt again and sleep for hours. And it's probably similar to a lot of, family dogs. On average, I mean, can you give an average? Does every dog need a different kind of level of walking? And it depends on what they're used to as well?
They do, because every breed is different again. And every breed, there is high energy, low energy, and mid energy. As I was saying before, my dog is low energy and she can lie on the bed all day long. That's the Rhodesian Ridgeback. But again, it's not always about the breed. It's about the characteristic of the dog as well. And every dog has a different character and different personality. So that's why even when we come to behavior and people ask me one question, how do you solve this problem? You cannot solve the same problem with different dogs, same way. It just doesn't work like that, because every dog is different and every dog will need a different approach. It's just, it's impossible.
My friend Donna, I'm not sure she's watching this, she's got a whippet, and luckily she's got a very big garden because she can't take her whippet off the lead unless it's, wilderness. But in her garden, he has, I think she calls it silly time or something, and he just runs down so fast. And I presume it's just to get that energy out, is it? Is that why he's doing it?
Yes, and definitely whippets and lurchers, they have that energy they need to release, and then they will calm down again. I mean, I look after a whippet, and she does not have that calm down bottom yet. She just go release. But again, dogs like this are high energy dogs, and you need to teach them calmness. That's the thing, because your dog, or even the Springer Spaniel, Cocker Spaniels, they can go all day long, all day, without, just sitting and looking at you, and tail is wagging. Come on, what we doing? It's just non-stop. That's why that dog needs to be taught how to calm down, either by going to his bed, giving him a chew. Pig ear is dry pig ears are the great chews, natural chews. Again, marrow, she has already finished it. It took a few seconds, isn't it? Marrow bones, and let them stay in their place. Yes, so we complain about the dogs. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do with you? But dog must be complaining about us, like how much time we spend at home. The one thing was gonna be really problematic is when we go back to work. And those dogs, especially the ones who are already having separation anxieties, will go bad. So I would suggest to start leaving your dogs in a different room. Sometimes dog follows you everywhere you go. I mean, my Yorkshire Terrier back in Slovakia, literally everywhere. Bed, toilet, he has to be there. So that is kind of a bit clingy. This dog knows she can sleep on her own wherever you just put her. But the good idea would be to start now to live in your dog in a separate room. Just give him a calm time and alone time, or even provide him with a little Kong or something to do, but leave the room. So make sure you're not 24/7 with that dog. I mean, yes, we leave the dog when we go for essential shopping. That is if the whole family goes, obviously.
Yeah. To the shop if I need essential shopping, because that's a second walk, and otherwise it doesn't get a second walk. And so I've been just popping down just to Tesco and getting a couple of, like milk and bread, and taking him with me for the extra walk. So you're right, he's actually, by the time we come out of this, there won't be any time that he hasn't spent with me.
Yeah.
I think he'll be okay because he's 8. You know, he's not a young, energetic, bouncy dog, and he does quite like his alone time. And quite often will be in another room than me. I just need to just keep an eye on it, I suppose, when I do go back to work.
Yeah, or maybe just leave him in another room for 15 minutes or anything like that. But you do go back to work with him anyway, so he's still with you at work. So
he's with somebody most of the time. He really is. He's such a spark.
But he doesn't like being alone, I don't think, on his own. Every now and then. No,
he's okay on his own. I think the longest I've ever left him is probably 8 hours, which I was worried about. He seemed to be completely fine about, because obviously at night he has at least 8 hours just lying there, doesn't he? So so we've covered, did you have numbered tips, or were they? I forgot.
No, I do. Yes. So first tip would be consider how you can keep your dog's walks interesting. Let them sniff. So as I said, physical activity is good, but mental is important too. So when you're going for a walk, always go different directions. Don't always go for the same route every day. And if even twice a day, it just gets too boring. There's nothing to sniff. They already sniffed it. And again, play games with your dogs. When you're outside, you can play hide and seek. Me and my husband actually are hiding. She actually loves but hates the game. So I hold her and my husband runs into the woods and hides behind a tree or somewhere. She goes crazy, but she loves it. You know, she goes barking and wagging the tail. She loves it. She loves looking at.
Have you seen that video on TikTok where somebody they'll throw a ball for the dog and then they'll quickly get under a blanket?
I've seen that. Yeah.
And some dogs have absolutely no clue where that human's just gone.
They freak out, like, what's happened. Yeah.
Of time, because we've talked, which I know that we've both that. Through the other 4 tips, if that's okay.
Yeah. So make the walk interesting. Teach your dogs new tricks. We got plenty of time to sit at home, so we can train and train and train. And there is so many videos online. Even a Janet from Oak Hill, Wheatwood Dog Training, you can just ask her, talk to her about the new tricks, what I can teach my dog, and I'm sure she will help you. Hide and seek around the house. Yeah, treats, hide them anywhere in the house. Obviously, not in the sofa or anywhere, because your dog will destroy your sofa before it gets to that. Or a ball, hide the ball. Or the best thing is actually as well, when you come from a walk and you do have a garden, don't just give your dog food in a bowl. Just scatter it around the garden. If it's not the wet food, obviously, if it's a dry kibble. So let him sniff, and that's again mental stimulation and a physical stimulation done. Hide and seek, we've done that. Frozen cog on frozen marrow bones, we already talked about. And you can use, 5th one is as entertainment. What about old boxes? So plenty of us order from online stores at the moment, and we have boxes around. You can hide the food inside and make sure you just put the box properly again together, and let the dog just destroy the box. Perfect time.
Great. They're really good tips, Petra. And I think that we all want our dogs to stay healthy and happy during this time. And for some of us, the dog's actually keeping us sane. It forces me to go out in the morning. The fact that I've got a dog, I think during lockdown it could have been easy to stay in PJs or just being a bit lazy in the morning, but he does get me out the door, which I'm very grateful for. Not always, and not first thing in the morning when it's raining, I'm not grateful, but it's a good routine. And actually, if we can give them a routine, they give us a routine back. So I think that's good. And we've got a lot to be grateful for when we've got a dog. We've given tips as well, which I'll put on the post. So thank you. You've got an offer you'd like to make, haven't you, Petra?
Yes, so everybody's isolating, everybody's home. So I would like to offer a free online advice. You can get in touch with me via my Facebook page, which is Lakes Pet Services, or I have another page. It's called Petra Farrar Dog Behaviour Consultant, or website lakespetservices.co.uk. My number is there, my prices are there, everything is up there. So yeah, I'm free to help. Just get in touch, and we can have a chat.
During the lockdown period, you'll give a free, maybe let's say a 20-minute consultation with anybody who's got a dog behavior problem or a practical problem that you may be able to just, you know, give a few insights on. But that is really, I really appreciate that. And I'm sure everybody watching does as well. So whatever you're doing today with your dogs, maybe I'm just going to notice him a bit more today, I think. And yours is there as well. Star of the show. Oh, Sky, look at you. I have to fill a marrow bone with some, because I have actually got an empty marrow bone with some food.
Or even big stores sell the marrow bones.
Yeah, I think I've actually got an empty one, so I'll do that. And I thought he'd lost interest in it a little bit, so if I pack it, he'll wake back up again, I'm sure. So thank you so much, really appreciate it. If you want to get in touch with Petra, all the details should be on this post. And thanks again, and have a lovely Easter Monday. Thank you for
lovely Easter Monday. Enjoy the sunshine while it's still there.
Bye for now.
See you later.